Sometimes I feel personally, that we live in such a wonderful world filled with all this technology. But before all that, there was a thing called the Industrial Revolution, which this country, this whole world went through. And it's pretty interesting. Watch the documentary, took some notes. Let's talk about it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's January 31st. Happy Saturday. Hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday. Me personally, this is gonna be a very, very short live stream. Kind of stretched, but hey, you know what? Luka Doncic yesterday scored, got a triple double, baby. That's my wife in the back. Say hi, baby. And he got a triple double. I feel good. The Lakers look great. I'm just waiting for the Super Bowl. I'm just waiting for the Super Bowl to get all started, and then I'll be rooting for my, everybody knows, and I hate to say it because I live in LA, the New England Patriots. I'm a fan. I know. I've got no ties. To Boston. Okay, literally have no ties, but I love the team. I've always loved the team. And you think I hopped on the Tom Brady bandwagon? I've been a fan of that team ever since Drew Bledsoe. Okay, so please don't even come my direction and say, "Oh, you're a bandwagoner, huh?" No, definitely. Last, I'm not a bandwagoner. Before the bandwagon even started. But people don't know, man. People don't. All right, well, let's talk about a couple points I've noticed about the Industrial Revolution. The British Navy used oak trees for their Navy. They are responsible, the Navy itself, the British Navy used oak trees. The British were pretty much responsible for massive deforestation. Okay? Now, if you're British out there, I'm sorry. Okay? Jared Richardson, thank you. I will not shut up. I mean, trolls on the chat. But anyways, massive deforestation. And must I say that I don't know if you guys ever seen a world with no trees. I live in LA and there's trees. There's a lot of them, but I wish there was more, because when you're like around nature, you tend to like feel better. I don't know what it is. Just I work out outside. And then I'm in a tree. There's a workout park up my block specifically. I don't even have my phone on me. I just work out there because I like being around nature and I like being around trees. What's wrong with that? It makes me feel good. Anyways, the British Navy, totally responsible for deforestation on a massive level. So if you want to save the trees, you couldn't save the trees back then. The British were just cutting everything for their Navy. And then all of a sudden, coal was introduced. I don't know if you guys know what coal is. Everybody has an opinion about coal. I don't really have an opinion. I just know Britain is full of coal, and they had to dig deep. They didn't have to dig that deep because Britain was filled with all the coal. British had all the coal. They felt like they did. They didn't have to go deep, but the deeper they went, the more danger it is, because the deeper you went in the mine, there's a lot of water, and where there's a lot of water, there's a lot of death, a lot of landslides, or a lot of floods and stuff like that. Hence, a guy named I can't even pronounce his name, Thomas Nikowin. He introduced. He was looking at a boiling kettle, and he was like, "You know what, man? We gotta get this water. Out of this steam. We got to get this water out of this mine." And then all of a sudden, he was just looking at a kettle. This is not the first guy that looked at a kettle and was like, "You know what? I have an idea." This guy actually was looking at a kettle after so many coffees and was like, "Hey, I know a way to get water out of this mine. Let's just steam the hell out of it and make it evaporate." And that's what he did. Thomas Nikowin. He made mine safer. Feels plays. Says hi on YouTube. Thank you. Hi to you back, bro. Hi to you back. Can I introduce a guy named James Watt? It was another kettle watching Brit. I don't know what it is with these Brits and watching kettle. They just get ideas from, I guess they're bored all day. They're boiling shit all day. And so they have nothing better else to do than just think of ideas. Anyways, this guy was looking at another kettle boiling, and then this guy, James Watt, invented the steam engine. Another kettle watching Brit. Just watching the kettle boil. Isn't that amazing? That's why people have the best ideas when they're taking a shit in the bathroom. There's something There's something about being bored. Something about being bored and just doing nothing that your mind could just think of different stuff. Obus 8 on YouTube. Can we go on a vacation together? Is it to Britain? Is it to visit these steam engines? Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. It'll be an educational trip. Carolyn Gilreth, hello. How are you on TikTok? How's everybody? Interesting fact, this guy named James Watt, he was a good seller of his engines. Like every time he went up to people, he was like, hey, my engine is like, I would say 10 times stronger than a horse. And hence, that's where horsepower came from. So give it up for James Watt for the term horsepower. You can't make this up, man. Could you imagine just going up to different houses and be like, hey, man, I got an engine. How many horses do you have? 4? Well, each horse, my engine is like, each horse is like, powers 10 of them per horse. And people are like, what do you mean? I got 1 horse. My engine is the power of 1 of your horses, but 10 of my horses. I don't get you. Look, horsepower is just take a look at my engine and buy it. Damn it. That's exactly what James Watt was doing. By the way, the term horsepower is, I've always loved that word horsepower. I don't know what it is. As a man, I think I think men are just so obsessed with 2 words, testosterone and horsepower. I don't know what it is. Horsepower, baby. Could you imagine giving the term horsepower to something that shouldn't have horsepower? Yo, man, what kind of computer you have? You have one of those Apple laptops? Yeah, man. Well, what is it? Is it the Apple Silicon? No, man. It's another processor. Has like 1 million horsepower. A what? 1 million horsepower in the chip? Yeah. Hey, man, you're lifting those weights, man. Lifting those weights. What about that machine? Yeah. This machine's good. It helps you to 3 horsepower. Why are you using a workout machine with horsepower? I don't get it. It's so stupid. During the Industrial Revolution, textiles shut up in production because the use of engines, like textiles, like clothes. I don't know, at the time in the Industrial Revolution was happening, probably hats, wigs, perhaps. Huh? How many people out there wear wigs? Hey, if I was bald, I would totally wear a wig, bro. I don't know. Textiles, there must be wigs. Fun fact, the workers at these textile mills, they were under horrible conditions. Could you imagine? First off, back in the days, Industrial Revolution, no air conditioning, no heater, no ventilation. They were basically enslaved people. I mean, if you didn't have a job, you were pretty much dead. So they needed that job, and they exploited these people. Could you imagine, man? Like during the hot summers, and working in a room with just an engine, like you couldn't. You must have felt terrible. Hey, boss, could I get a 10-minute break? Why do you need a 10-minute break? Because I'm about to pass out because of heat exhaustion. Hey, boss, I think Bill over there needs to take a break. Why does he need to take a break? Because he's dead. He's dead over there. That's like an eternity of a break. What's up, Siri from TikTok? Hello, guys. In the documentary, I'll do my best to explain this, but in the documentary, it shows that even before living organisms roamed this earth was pretty much covered in iron, with other stars exploding and stuff like that. It covered most of the mantle with iron, and iron is very essential because iron is the only thing that could keep a steam engine at bay. An engine built from iron won't explode. I mean, it will explode, but you know what I'm saying? Iron is made to take the very, very insane of steam and contain it. And hence, the railroad was born, huh? The railroad was born because all of the trains were made of iron, baby. The railroad, with the railroad, it created all this commerce. So people going back and forth. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys ever been on a train, but could you imagine being in a steam powered train? I mean, we are so living in a world where we are so privileged to take an airplane, to take a car. Back in days, like going 100 miles per hour, that was the Colossus, the Magic Mountain Colossus of the day. That was 100 miles per hour. That's crazy. The railroad was born, right? Powered by coal. Now, backtrack to the coal. When you burn coal, you need something to contain it. And an iron enclosure was strong enough to, get all the heat. Like my muscles made of iron. You know what I mean? It's But that was probably a crazy time. Crazy time back in the days for with all the railroads and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of danger, a lot of hijacking, a lot of bandits. Could you imagine? Just like riding a train with your family, and all of a sudden your train is getting jacked by bandits. That happened on the regular, and there's nothing that you could do. I didn't even know if I was the owner of the railroad, I would definitely hire. I didn't even know marshals at the time, or not even that, man. I would just like put some severed heads on the trains. Just to give an example, if you mess with this train, we're gonna decapitate your head and put it for everybody to see. A little barbaric. But sometimes you've got to go that extra mile to let people know that you're a person not to be messed with. It's as simple as that, baby. I think this was the time when the Civil War was happening. If you guys know, railroads, trains transported a lot of weapons. If it wasn't for trains, I don't know how the Civil War would have turned out, because the railroads are going back and forth transporting all these weapons, millions and millions of tons of weapons, bro. Like, you couldn't even escape it. You couldn't escape it. Oh, the monkey Africana is back. How are you? I didn't see the comment. How are you, man? Everything good? Thank you for tuning on to the live stream a couple days ago. It was nice. If you have something to say about the Industrial Revolution, if anybody has anything to say about the Industrial Revolution, something that I don't know, something that I haven't uttered, please feel free to chat in the comments. So yeah, we're talking about the Civil War, how the trains were responsible for all this weapons commerce. Oh, babe, there's a stink bug right here. Does it bite? I hate stink bugs. I wish there was a cop. I'm gonna get you. There was a damn stink bug, dude. I don't know what I did with it. I hopefully got it in the cup, and it's still in the cup. It looked nasty. I hate bugs. I freaking hate bugs. And the bug was in the live stream, and I couldn't take it. I panicked. This live stream is all ruined because of this stupid stink bug. Fucking stink bug. Okay, no, it wasn't. What were you talking about? Oh, yeah. We were talking about coal power plant. What in the world happened? There was a stink bug. There was a stink bug that was right on my light, and it was a big ass stink bug. It looked like a June bug with all these different hands, and it was like a flying spider, and I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Anyways, I panicked, and I was calling for the wife to get a piece of paper because I think I have it in the cup. I think I have it in the cup. Abrigana, that's what happened. But let's go back into this documentary before more tangents that happen. Okay, this is a very, very interesting fact that I'm going to tell you. There was an iron-made Navy ship, the first of its kind, called the Merrimack. It was from the Confederates. And with the making of this iron-made ship, it was pretty indestructible at the time, because at the time there were just wooden ships, and then they came across the Merrimack, which was by the Confederates, and the Merrimack kicked their ass because Merrimack was made with iron until the Union, our guys, the good guys, came up with their own ironclad ship. It was called the Monitor. And they duked it out. They duked it out for 4 hours. What's up? 2 ironclads going together, battling for 4 hours. The Union, the Confederates are battling. Not on land, but on sea. 2 ironclads. And guess who won? The Merrimack. The Confederates like, oh, the Monitor's too good. And they jammed. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. USA. 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 4 hours, bro. I mean, could you even take a break? Could you? Just a little break. I just want a little break, bro. 4 hours, like for me, 2 hours of work, I need a 10-minute break. How is that 10-minute break during a war, especially in a ironclad Navy ship? You're seeing all these like cannonballs, like being not, your ship is getting hit, but it's not going through. And yet you're just, hey, boss, I know we might lose this war. All these people might die, but is there any way I could get a smoke break? Is there? Hey, I know. There's, we hate the Confederates. Okay, I'm all for the Union. Yes, let's free the slaves. But I need a cigalilio, bro. It's USA. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Monk Obregon knows. We never fall down. That's what I'm talking about. The Monitor won. If you know what I'm talking about, the Monitor versus the Merrimack. The Union versus the Confederates. Both ironclad ships. battling for 4 hours, bro. That is where it was. It by land? Was it near the land? Because I want to know. Because I want to know if there's some people like sitting on that beach on like a lawn chair or something at the time, or whatever chair, or just even just sitting on the beach, be like, wow, look at this. 4 hours, like 3 hours in, like, okay, guys, come on. Time's a ticking. I gotta look at a kettle. No one dies. Oh, and that's the funny thing about this whole thing. 4-hour battle in ironclad ships, the Merry Mark and the Monitor. Nobody dies. Nobody dies from this 4-hour battle. I don't even know if it's part of the Civil War. 4 hours and nobody dies, bro. I call BS. Somebody had to, I mean, some people got injured, but somebody had to have, tell me somebody died from IBS, bro. Irritable bowel syndrome. Tell me that. You can't tell me nobody died. Nobody died? Cannonballs being shot every 5 minutes? Could you imagine being in a ship, in an iron ship, indestructible, and then your enemy just fired a cannonball to you? You know it's not going to like penetrate the hull or the ship, but just the sound that it makes. It's just not like, it's not like a beep. It was probably the most horrifying sound. Every time they got hit by a cannonball, your life probably flashed before your eyes. You know what I mean? By the way, after this battle, the Monitor versus the Merry Mark, no more wooden ships. No more wood, because each time these ironclad ships battled the wooden ships, they would take out like 5 or even a whole fleet of wooden ships, because their ships would, these iron ships were indestructible. So after this modern Merry Mark battle, no more. The Navy of every country was like, no more wooden ships. Even the Native Americans at the time were like, we still need to make ships out of wood because we don't know how to make steel. We live in teepees, man. But we will be fast. Can't even imagine like being in a wooden ship. I don't care if you're part of the Confederate or the Union. You just know you're on a wooden ship and you're about to face one of these iron-made ships that are indestructible. And from all the stories leading up to the day that you face them, it's like, oh, it's indestructible. You can't win. They've taken out 10 of our wooden ships. Why? Would you just... If I just saw one of these ships from afar, I would probably jump out. I would probably really jump out. That's what I would do. About to go down. Oh, yeah. You know it. The Montgomery got to know it's about to go down. You damn right. You damn right. Well, guys, I told you it was going to be a short live stream. 28 minutes in. And, of course, we talked about the Industrial Revolution. We talked about textiles. We talked about coal. We talked about steam engine, horsepower. We talked about the Merry Mark. We talked about the Monitor. We talked about train commerce during the Civil War, how great it was and how essential it was to war. And we also talked about how awesome it was to be part Navy, whoever controlled the Monitor, the Union side, because they were pretty indestructible, bro. Thank you, guys. I don't know what documentary I'm going to watch tomorrow, but I will see you guys tomorrow. I gotta go. Yes. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. The Monk Obregana, thank you very much for being the #1 on my YouTube. I really appreciate you.